Welcome to DFG Gaming, this is Belay, and thanks for joining us for our July 2016 Humble Monthly Review. For those of you that are just dropping in as your first time seeing this series, the Humble Monthly is a group of games that you get for $12 a month, and basically what I do in this review is I compare the prices, the quality, and whether they're good games or not, so that you can make a more informed decision as to should you sign up for this service or not. So with that being said, let's take a look at the games I got for this month, and let's see how they turned out. Number 1. The first game in our list is a Burnham 2 Crystal Souls. This game was released on January 14th, 2015, which makes it a little over a year and a half old. Its current Steam price is $19.99. This game is an action RPG game that kind of wants to play out like a digital version of Dungeons and Dragons. It is a very story-driven game, which the story is actually pretty interesting. Your basically whole country is made up of exiles and criminals that have been exiled underground, and you're at war with the kingdom that is on above you in the above ground. This does have a party system which has multiple classes. You can set those classes up into any combination of 4 characters right from the start of the game. So you can have Berserker, Knight, Warrior, Mage, Shaman, etc., that you can imagine from D&D. This is a single player game only, which is kind of a drawback. If it was a multiplayer game, this game would be so much more fun. I did run into several bugs while playing the game. At one point I did have to start my game completely over because one of my characters got in a doorway, and it basically meant that I couldn't move them, and I was stuck there and just had to restart the game from scratch. With that and a few other bugs that I've run in along the way, I would give this game a 3 out of 5 rating. Number 2. The second game on our list is Kentucky Route Zero. This game was released in February of 2013, which makes it roughly about, makes about 3 years old now, a little bit over that. But don't let that deter you, because the game is still being developed as a new chapter for the story was just released recently. Its current Steam price is $24.99. This game is more of a novelization and just a game that walks you through the story. You have some choices to make, but you're still just there for the story. That's why you're there. There's not going to be a whole lot of action sequences or anything like that. Actually, in my testing, I didn't find any. The game itself is pretty good. The story is very intriguing, and it does keep you guessing. So far of what I've been playing, it hasn't really given me any answers, so I'm kind of still sitting on the edge of my seat trying to figure out what's going on. The new chapter, like I said, was just released recently, and from those reviews I can find on Steam, everybody seems to really enjoy this game. I did not encounter any kind of bugs or issues while playing it, so for my standpoint, I would give this game a 5 out of 5. Number 3. The third game on our list is the Red Solstice. This game was released on July 9th of 2015 and has a current Steam price of $19.99. This game is a squad-based action RPG type of game. Now you might ask, what does that mean? Well, it's kind of like XCOM 2 in that you control a squad-ish and you lead that squad through the mission. The biggest difference for this game is that everything is done in real time. There is no turn-based to it, which to me detracts from the game and makes the game a little bit less fun. You spend most of your time in control of one character of your squad. You can go into a tactical mode that repositions your squad and makes them stay put. Overall, this game had several design flaws that I didn't agree with. As far as bugs go, there weren't really any bugs, but I did not agree with some of the designs, like for the fact that it's not turn-based. There is no way to go into a turn-based mode. The game feels like if you slow down for a second, you're going to get overrun, which actually happened to me in the game. There's also features like an auto-aim that it talks about like this is supposed to be such a bad thing, but if you're playing it in real time, you're probably going to want to leave the auto-aim on. With that in mind, as quality rating goes, I would probably give this game a 4 out of 5. Number 4. This is the fourth game on our list. TIS 100. It was released on July 20th, 2015, which makes it a little over a year old by a couple weeks. Its current Steam price is $6.99. This game is a programming simulation puzzle game type of game. It requires you to solve puzzles based on writing code to move data and manipulate data to an end result. This game, maybe it's just because I'm a programmer myself, but this game I found very enjoyable. It does have a steep learning curve if you're not comfortable with programming in any way, but if you like puzzle simulations, this game will challenge you greatly and will be fun to come up with. The biggest appeal for me was coming up with the most efficient solution to the problem, because it's really hard to do, but it really challenges your programming and puzzle solving skills. This game had no bugs that I could see, seemed to be really well polished for what it was. I do apologize for the video not being super entertaining. It's all text based, so I can only show you what it is. But as far as bugs go and stuff like that, there was a user guide to help you get started. There was in that user guide they had references to how you need to write the code. So for this game, I would give this game at the very least a 4 out of 5. Personally, I would say more like a 5 out of 5. Number 5. The fifth game on our list is Satellite Reign. This game was released on August 28th of 2015, which makes it almost exactly a year old. Its current Steam price is $29.99. This is a squad-based RPG like we've been seeing before with the Red Solstice, that the game follows you as you control a squad of members who try to complete a mission. As far as the game itself goes, I was not really a fan. According to the Steam reviews, this game has a lot of positive reviews, so maybe I'm just the black sheep or the one of kind of guy. I don't know, but the camera angle where the camera is supposed to be on a drone, so it's constantly panning left and right, made me nauseous. And also, I ran into several bugs where squad members would just end up stuck somewhere and then randomly they would show back up. This, to me, does not make the game really high on my list. It ended up, I couldn't play it for very long because, like I said, I got nauseous just from the camera. The controls themselves are not very well thought out, I don't believe. They're not very intuitive. A lot of times, like in the video you're seeing here, you're supposed to do an assassination, so you click the guy thinking, okay, he's gonna walk up and shoot you in the back of the head. Instead, she just starts shooting randomly when as soon as you click. So to me, the game has some appeal and has a good idea, but it was executed extremely poorly in my opinion. I would give this game a 2 out of 5. Number 6. The sixth game on our list is Cthulhu Rims. It was released on July 1st, 2016. Makes it just about a month or two old, and its current Steam price is $4.99. This game is a card game just like Hearthstone or Elder Scrolls Legends. The big thing separating it is that it plays more like Ascension, the card game on tabletop, in that you don't build your decks prior to the game, you build the decks during the game. This makes a very fun game. I'll be honest, I was dreading playing this one and reviewing it, but after playing it, I found myself kind of hooked. It does take a more cartoony feel to the H.P. Lovecraft Cthulhu universe, but it does get away with it as still using those mechanics to make the game more fun and more intriguing. All in all, I would give this game a solid 5 out of 5. Number 7. The seventh game on our list is Hurt World. This game was released in December 4th of 2015. Makes it a little short of a year old. Its Steam price is $24.99. This game is an open world survival game, kind of like The Forest that was in our bundle a couple months back, and that's about where the similarities end. This one is PvP centered, so it's not a persistent world. Well, I mean, it is persisted, but it's persisted on that specific server for so many days, and as I said, it is PvP, so you're free range to kill anyone and anyone you want. This game I did not find very enjoyable. I tried it with multiplayer with friends, and I tried it as a single player, and neither time the experience was enjoyable. It was actually pretty miserable. My biggest faults of the game so far are the lack of a map, the lack of any kind of grouping system. The mechanics of it are on a really high learning curve. I mean, from the Steam reviews, people seem to like this game, and I assume that maybe if you really get into it and dive headfirst in and do research and learn all the intricacies, it can be good. But from a perspective of a gamer who just picks it up, the game is daunting and has a huge learning curve. I would give this game a 3 out of 5. Number 8. The eighth game on our list is Kopaka. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. That is the Humble Monthly exclusive for this month. How best to describe this game is probably to say it is a bird simulator. You control a bird, and basically, from what I can tell, you fly around town, you observe humans, you listen to all their conversations, you gather trinkets to build more nests, and just generally fly around observing the landscape. For a Humble Monthly exclusive, I will admit that this game is very beautiful as far as the artwork goes. Now, it can be very simplistic at times, but it does look good. As far as meat for like a story or anything, I'm not really sure it's there. But if you like any kind of like animal simulator games, or you just enjoy being a bird, this would be a fun game to play. This game, couldn't find any real bugs with it, couldn't find any real reason to hate on it or anything, so I would say I'd give this game a 4 out of 5. Let's take a look at the value and the quality of this bundle. As you can see from my chalkboard here, that the total value of these games, had you bought them individually, is $131.93. Considering I only paid $12, I saved $119.93. As you can see from my quality rating, this month's quality is kind of a little bit lower than the previous months. I would say that overall, out of my 3 months that I've had the monthly bundle, this is probably the worst month, just for the games not having very many gems in them. I've liked 5 of the games, 3 of them I disliked, which I know is kind of ambiguous to what I just said, but the ones I disliked were so bad that it was painful to play them, even to get video to review them. So I would say overall, this month was a bad month for the Humble Monthly. I'm hoping that things will pick back up. I mean, I've had it for 3 months, and I've had 2 that have been amazing, and 1 that kind of sucked. So, I mean, 2 out of 3, I still consider it a well worthwhile investment of my money. These games, if you were picking them up on their own, the only ones that I would consider picking up would be Kentucky Route Zero, TIS 100 if you like the programming aspect, Cthulhu Rims if you like Ascension or you like card games. The others, I would probably stay away from, unless you just catch them on a really cheap sale and you're just curious. Well guys, that's going to wrap that up for this month's review. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was informative and helped you guys maybe make a better decision on whether you should sign up for this great service or not. If you click the arrows to the left and the right, they'll take you to the previous month or the next month whenever I get that one up, and we'll see what we can get going from there. If you guys have any suggestions, any comments, leave them down below. As always, I greatly appreciate you guys watching my video, and I hope y'all have a good one.